Have you ever noticed that the worst decisions we make are the ones that feel the most urgent? It's almost as if pressure convinces us that deciding quickly is the same thing as deciding wisely. Several years ago, one of our cars needed a new transmission. The car already had 250,000 miles on it. Replacing the transmission was going to be expensive, but buying a new car meant taking on another monthly payment we really couldn't afford. But either way, we had to make a decision, and we had to make it soon. The mechanic had our car sitting on his lot, so if we left it there too long, storage fees would start adding up. So now there was another layer of pressure. Not only did we have a difficult decision to make, but it felt like time was running out. So the obvious answer seemed to be, just decide. But there was something that kept bothering me. I wanted to find out if there were other options available, or maybe I was just missing something. So we waited another week, and that felt really risky. What if the storage fees started piling up? What if we lost our chance to fix the car? What if waiting made things worse? Then something unexpected happened. A used transmission from the exact same model car became available, and it cost less than half the price of a new one. And suddenly we had an option that didn't exist the week before. Now, waiting didn't create a better option. It just gave us enough time to discover one. And that's when I learned something. Pressure has a way of convincing us that deciding quickly is the same thing as deciding wisely. But most of the time, it really isn't. Over the years, I noticed the same thing happening in a completely different place. Sales. Maybe you heard this one before. If you buy it today, I'll give you this special deal. And for a long time, I hated hearing that. Not because I didn't want a great deal, I obviously do, but because I knew exactly what it was trying to do. It wasn't helping me make a decision, it was trying to rush me into making that decision. So I adopted a simple rule. Now I always say, I'd like a day to think about it and I'll get back to you tomorrow. But then I add this one more sentence. If you can't offer me the same deal tomorrow, then I probably don't need it. And this is what I discovered from saying that. If you really want my business, the offer is almost always going to be there. And if it isn't, I probably avoided making a decision under pressure that I would have regretted later. That doesn't mean every decision should be delayed, but sometimes waiting is avoidance. Sometimes it really is time to move. But I've learned to ask myself one question before making a major decision. Am I making this decision because it's the right time, or because someone or something is making me feel like I have to decide right now? Because those are two very different reasons. Pressure always has a way of convincing us that today's options are the only options we'll ever have. And most of the time, that's not true. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is create enough space for new information to arrive. Because clarity doesn't come from rushing. It comes from seeing reality as clearly as you can. Don't let urgency decide your future, because that is your job.